So apparently the internet hates the Nintendo Switch too, at least PC gamers do, apparently. We're going to be looking at a couple of examples where, yeah, I mean, it's just, for some reason, PC gamers just really seem to hate the Nintendo Switch 2 ever since yesterday when Nintendo actually revealed it. People are hating on the trailer, they're hating on how the console looks itself, they're hating on, of course, the hardware, the rumored hardware that is powering the Switch 2, and comparing it to other handheld options, specifically PC options like the Steam Deck or the ROG Ally. Here, this was basically a clip of a content creator kind of comparing it to the Steam Deck. Go ahead and hear this.
The Steam Deck.
It's kind of crazy because in my opinion, it doesn't look anything like the Steam Deck other than the fact that it's black now. Like, it has black Joy-Cons. This isn't even anything new necessarily either. You could get the Switch with gray Joy-Cons for years and years, even before the Steam Deck. So yeah, it's not like it has, you know, touchpads or anything like that, like the Steam Deck.
Right. It does come across as like a Switch Pro. I think from
That too, I would have to disagree with, just because the hardware, again, based off the leaks and what we have seen, the hardware is so far beyond just like a simple Pro revision. When you look at, you know, the PS4 and then the PS4 Pro, or like the PS5 and the PS5 Pro, they're largely similar. It's usually not the biggest difference. You know, the PS4 to the PS4 Pro, it basically just unlocked higher resolutions beyond 1080p, and you know, some games did take advantage of that and stuff, but it didn't magically make games go from like barely 30 FPS to now perfect 60. It didn't make games go from, you know, the absolute lowest settings to ultra settings or anything like that. It was just a nice little like bump up to like a slightly higher resolution, maybe a more consistent frame rate, maybe some additional, you know, smaller graphical settings and stuff like that. But it wasn't a major like generational leap. Based off what we've seen from the Switch 2, it's a generational leap compared to the original Switch. And I thought this is what everyone wanted. I thought people wanted the Switch, but just more powerful. That's what people have been kind of whining about for years now, basically saying that they like the idea of the Switch, but it needs more power. And it feels like Nintendo has delivered that kind of. And now people are it's like I guess they didn't want that. I don't know. It's kind of odd. The clip goes on. It's a lot of the same stuff that we just heard. But anyway, like I said, there's a lot of comparisons to, you know, the Steam Deck, like he just said, and like this tweet here that actually links the video. Like this says, it says, I absolutely 100% agree with Max here. The Switch 2 is the most meh, nothing burger device ever, with the most uneventful reveal ever in the history of gaming. This is so bad that investors didn't even wait 5 minutes to say, nah, thanks, we're out. This shouldn't be called a Switch 2. It's literally just a Switch Pro. Steam Deck and Asus ROG Ally just makes this thing very irrelevant to me. There's literally no reason for me to buy a Switch 2 over something like the Asus ROG Ally or the Steam Deck. So yeah, I have a lot of issues with this. Number one, people are more specifically, this person is acting like it's just like a complete flop of a reveal. I think right now the numbers are like 140 million views in like the last day. Absolutely crazy numbers. Whether or not, you know, it's people like this that are hating on it, or whether or not it's people that are excited about it like myself or millions of other people, those are crazy numbers to be pulling in for a, you know, supposedly the most uneventful reveal in the history of gaming. And secondly too, calling it a Switch Pro, again, this is such a monumental leap in performance and based off the leaks, you know, features and stuff like that, that no, it's not a Switch Pro. It's not a simple, like slightly overclocked chip and maybe, you know, a slightly higher resolution when docked or something like that. Like, no, it is way more RAM. It is faster storage, faster SD card storage, new Joy-Cons, new features in the Joy-Cons, completely new chip, you know, next gen features for a Nintendo console, DLSS, ray tracing, things like that. That's not a simple Pro revision, and people are downplaying it though just because it's cool to hate on Nintendo, I guess. He also compares it to the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally, and basically saying that these two handhelds make something like the Switch 2 completely irrelevant, which I again have to disagree with. They're different products. At the end of the day, these two things combined very clearly, you know, they don't appeal to the mass like consumer market that Nintendo does. The Steam Deck, I think, is estimated to have sold like what 5 or 6 million units now, 3 years into its life cycle. The Asus ROG Ally is probably like, I would imagine, I would be surprised if they sold more than 3 million of those things. Those things are returned so often too at Best Buy. It's crazy. They probably have more used stock in ROG Allies at Best Buy than they have new. These things combined, like you can add up all these handheld PC sales and stuff to the Nintendo Switch like in just 1 year, and it's not even a question. You could sell the Steam Deck at the pace that it's selling at right now. You could sell this thing for the next 20 years, and it still would not beat the Nintendo Switch if you stopped all Switch sales right now. They don't appeal to the mass market that Nintendo Switch does. These handheld PCs have their advantages and they have their disadvantages too. They're not known for having the best battery life, for example. Some of them, like the Windows-based ones, sometimes don't have the best user experience. They don't have the most console-like experience. Maybe they don't have the best manufacturer support. They're not updated often and stuff. And then you also have to remember, again, these are niche products, whether you want to admit it or not. Even the Steam Deck at its 5 to 6 million units sold, that's probably what the Switch sold in like its first month. Like I wouldn't even be surprised if the Switch outsold the Steam Deck in its 3 years, but the Switch, you know, in its first month. Don't get me wrong. These things have their advantages. The having access to the full PC gaming library, or most of the PC gaming library, being able to use them as PCs, emulation, things like that. There are 100% advantages to these handhelds over something like the Nintendo Switch 2. But things like the Nintendo Switch also have their advantages, whether it be battery life, whether it be day one exclusives, online play, whether it be that ease of use, being able to dock it, undock it, automatically adjust all the settings, graphics, resolutions, all that stuff. You don't ever have to worry about these things, right? All of, you know, co-op play, for example, all of these things, you know, there are advantages to the Nintendo Switch still, and there's, again, are advantages to these handheld PCs. There's no reason why you have to choose one or the other. You can have both, you can have none, doesn't matter. It doesn't really, it's just kind of weird when people who apparently enjoy these products so much, like it feels like they spend more time talking about how good these products are instead of just enjoying them. You would think that if they were so good, you wouldn't have to constantly be comparing them to other things just to make yourself feel superior. There's a lot more of this type of like attitude too, you know, PC gamers kind of downplaying the Switch 2 and stuff. Here is another tweet from PC Gamer. I believe their website's pcgamer.com, and again, it's just filled with Steam Deck fans or just PC gaming fans in general. You know, yeah, this is gonna flop. The Nintendo Switch 2 is only gonna play Nintendo Switch 2 games. That's already not true. Like they can't even get their facts right. Next gen PC handleds, I should say. That's how he spelled it, at least. Next gen PC handleds can literally emulate all games in the known universe up to PS3 for free, plus PC games. LOL, easy choice here. Again, it's just like, okay, and like go enjoy it then. Like why does it have to be compared to the Switch 2? And this is just crazy, by the way. Yeah, this is gonna flop, as if their previous console isn't literally on track to be the best selling console of all time. It's just kind of crazy, like how sometimes these PC gamers can be that out of touch to where like they can't. It's just not enough for them to enjoy their thing. They have to make sure that everyone knows it's better than everything that you may have or you may enjoy. And they just completely skew facts and completely downplay things just to make their arguments seem more valid. Here's another thing, like this is the same guys as the previous one. Don't waste your money on a weak Nintendo Switch. Get a Steam Deck or an Asus ROG Ally. They have more games free online and will play Nintendo Switch games better than a Switch 2, no exceptions. This is just crazy, by the way. I have had a Steam Deck literally since 2022. I pre-ordered one like the minute that pre-orders went live. I got mine in early 2022. I think it was Q1 in 2022. I've had one ever since. I have emulated Switch games on my Steam Deck. They do not play vastly better even than just the normal Nintendo Switch version of the game. So this whole argument that they're going to play like something like the Steam Deck is going to play Nintendo Switch games better than the next gen Nintendo console is just absolutely like ridiculous. Like it's just not true. Half the time you are lucky if you get the same performance that you would get on a Switch on the Steam Deck when you're emulating Switch games. There's absolutely no way that, especially if Nintendo does do what rumors have suggested, is that, you know, original Switch games are going to get, you know, like upgraded or patched for Switch 2. There's absolutely zero chance that a Steam Deck emulating Switch games is going to be better than a Nintendo Switch 2 playing Switch games natively and with those performance upgrades or performance patches. It's just, again, it's complete copium, and it's just complete like fanboyism essentially from the PC gaming community. I think this picture pretty much sums up the whole experience. It's like normal people seeing the Switch 2 and just enjoying it for what it is and being like, yeah, that looks cool. And then meanwhile, you have these PC gamers here that are just yelling in your ear, being like, no, you can't enjoy that. Quit having fun. This thing is trash. Why aren't you getting this instead of things? Enjoy what you want, you know, at the end of the day. Of course, if you prefer the Ally, if you prefer the Steam Deck, if you're waiting for the Steam Deck 2, whatever it is, that's totally fine. There is advantages to those platforms, just like there are advantages to the Nintendo platform. At the end of the day, I definitely don't agree with these takes that the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be a complete flop. It feels like Nintendo's basically just taking everything that worked with the Nintendo Switch and improving upon it and adding new things to it to make the experience overall better. And I don't see how that is going to be a downgrade compared to what we already have with the current Switch. And obviously people love the current Switch because, again, it is on track to being one of the best selling consoles of all time. It would not be in that position if it was as bad as people like to make it out to be, like Steam Deck fanboys, like PC gaming fanboys in general and stuff. But yeah, anyway, guys, Nintendo Switch 2, the reveal was cool. The console looks amazing in my opinion. I cannot wait to hear more about it. Supposedly we're going to be getting a Switch 1 Direct next month. We should be getting Pokemon Legends ZA news in February. And then of course in April, we're getting that Nintendo Direct that is focused on the Nintendo Switch 2. We have a lot to look forward to if you are a Nintendo fan. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about this whole controversy down in the comments below. Do you guys agree? Do you disagree? Very interesting hearing what you guys have to say. But with all that being said, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.